It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll get to see a pair of teams who fought multiple times in the Super Bowl. It's the Washington Commanders and the Miami Dolphins. Next on Madden Football.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. Fighting through the tackle at the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Motion man is Crowder. A quick throw out wide, caught by Crowder. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football, all right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. Big yardage that time for Washington. 48 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone. This time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. They'll run with Robinson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr. taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Commanders need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen, ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. In motion, Hill. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Haven't met a corner that's worth his salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Daniels. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Play action, now it's Daniels. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
To the air goes Daniels.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete.
A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
That's the NFL vet Calais Campbell coming in and dragging him down. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the 1st quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Malik Washington deep for Miami. Let's take it inside his own 40. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive, and they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Here's Achane to start the drive. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd down and 4. Tua sets up to pass it. Short throw to Smith. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. In motion, Hill. On play action, here's Tua. On the move to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Looking to pass. Tua completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Motion man is Berrios. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And the Washington offense heading out. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
From the 35, here's second down and 3. Daniels looking to throw. And that's complete to McCaffrey. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
To throw is Daniels.
And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
It's pretty early in the game, but they've already tried to establish him not just as a runner, but as a receiver as well. Didn't happen there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them try again shortly.
Now a second and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Sanders on for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Washington offense set to take over. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
In motion left, that's Crowder. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And he stopped immediately there. Javon Holland coming up to make the stop. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes, we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. And Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Well, they go play action. Daniels. This is caught. It's Brown. And he's brought down. It's a first down Washington on a pickup of 18.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down at 7.
They'll send Brown in motion right.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
Now Daniels. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 28. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Now their versatile running back. Here's Austin Eckler.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
Flushed out right. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
He's going to try and do this himself.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield.
And score that one for one of the league's best. Jalen Ramsey getting the tackle for loss. Well, he had success earlier in the drive keeping it himself. Not here, though.
And sometimes when you have that kind of success, you can fall in love with the option a little bit too much and not give the defense credit for making adjustments themselves. And that play starts to lose its effectiveness.
That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
Robinson.
He pushed forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
This is a long drive. Offensively, wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. Breaks through the contact.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. 2 in the Dolphins offense getting ready to take over once again. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. The drive starts with a run from Achane. And they string that play out nicely. He stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, 2nd down. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches are giving, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. In motion, Hill. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And 2 are going to slide to a halt, but he will have the 1st down.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. From the gun, it's Tua. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Tua going to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a gain of 35.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That's Waddle. He's got the catch on the out route. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tua finding his old Alabama teammate Jalen Waddle. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Here's Daniels.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. On the catch, it's Crowder.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Got a man, it's Brown. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Checks this one down to Robinson.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
This one into the hands of Crowder downfield. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout
as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
To the air goes Daniels. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders.
Noah Brown as the first half is winding down.
And the Commanders are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it's now 21-17.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
The Dolphins got some strong play out of their quarterback, number 1, Tua Tagovailoa. His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Dolphins offense and running back Devon Achane making their way back out. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half. So often on these RPOs, we see the ball get from the quarterback to the receiver in what feels like a nanosecond. But on this play, he actually cleared coverage downfield a bit before the ball got to him. The net result, though, a considerable gain.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Running right, here's Achane.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Second down and 6 now.
Here's Tua. And his pass incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
He's known for his legs and his fancy footwork, but he's not getting much of a chance to use it here. The defense continued to hold the upper hand by bringing him down on that play.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Play action, now it's Daniels. That's out wide here for Robinson. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Robinson up the middle.
And he's able to get up here to the 26.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Running on first down, Eckler. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. A quick throw here out to Brown. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Looking to throw. Daniels. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Daniels. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Now HN on 1st and 10.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
He'll dump this off to HN.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6.
Now Tua.
They'll swing this out wide. Here's HN.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
A run straight ahead with HN.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Looking to pass. Tua. Short throw to Smith. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. In motion, Hill.
A give left side. Here's HN.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Tua sets up to pass it. They'll roll him out right. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. In motion comes the tight end left. 2nd down and goal. Tua got a man and he hits him in stride. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Jonathan Allen able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Sanders' kick is good.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Commanders preparing for their next possession. The last series form a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll motion McLaurin left. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Kendall Fuller in on the stop.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now a 2nd and 6. Daniels looking to throw. Throwing it Terry McLaurin's way again, and he's got it.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
It's a pickup of 12 and a Commander's 1st down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They'll get that one out quickly to Brown. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Robinson will try to pick it up. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
2nd and 10. Handoff now to Robinson. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. 1st down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Daniels. That is caught. And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Robinson is in. Touchdown, Washington. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
What can they draw up now? Time to find out on a 3rd and 8.
Tua going to throw.
This one thrown underneath to Achane. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. A tie game in the 4th quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in.
Here's 1st down.
They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score.
Tua.
Complete. Smith has it. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's 1st and 10. Now Tua. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Under 90 seconds to go. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing Tua. Oh, look at this. It's intercepted. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown.
Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Seibert on for the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So Tua and the Dolphins down by 7. 1:14 to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on 1st down. Here's Tua. This is Smith to the ground. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
Tua to throw.
And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Here's Tua. Throw caught by Achane.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Tua.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks.
Here comes 2nd down. Tagovailoa.
Caught on the slant. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Sanders on for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
To throw is Daniels. He's got McLaurin, and that's not going to help a whole lot. Maybe 4 yards on 1st down.
So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial.
So the first chance of this overtime will go to Washington as we are back underway. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play action, now it's Daniels. This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Robinson. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 78 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
2nd down and 8. A give to Robinson on the option. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. Here's Daniels. That is caught. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 13-yard line. 13 yards down to the 13. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he is into the end zone. They accomplish what they set out to do as they will take the lead here in overtime. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards there, a big one.
And how about that? In a game that's had just about everything, how's that for an answer? Remember, in the past, this game would be over already. But that's a huge play there to give them a fighting chance to go down and possibly tie this game.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10
at the 36. Here's Tua. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Up the middle, Achane.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. Looking to pass. Tua. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hill.
Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
And he's going to get into the end zone. They respond with a touchdown of their own. And now decision time. Down by 1 here at OT.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's able to put it through. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays.
And it was Tua Tagovailoa who called his own number and finished it off with the touchdown run.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
97 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
Throwing now is Daniels. Here's a screen for Robinson.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Each team's had it in overtime, so next score wins. Here's second down. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Here is third down and 4. To the air goes Daniels. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And here in overtime, that had the potential to be the definition of a game-changing interception, but he couldn't find a way to pull it in, and that's a disappointment there.
Here's Tressway now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense.
And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
It's caught on the right side at Smith. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT.
From the 38 now, here's second and 2. Now Tua. Short throw to Smith.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on third down.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
He'll let this go deep for Waddle.
That's caught inside the 20.
He's in. Touchdown. They win it deep into the overtime period.
Well, you never know what you're going to expect when you come to the stadium to call a game. Sometimes you get good ones. Sometimes you get bad ones. Sometimes you get great ones. And that's what we had here. What an exciting finish on that last big play.
And I think that as we look at it, when you're talking about a great finish, which went along with a game that obviously was dramatic because we did get into overtime, what type of play calls do you have left? What have you not shown? Or what have you made an adjustment to what you've worked on all the way through that's going to give you the play we saw to win the game? Because I know everyone's thinking that that was something that they just drew up. It might have been something they've been working on, and now they got the right matchup.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.